Hello once again, everybody. First sports update that I'm going to do without my glasses or my contacts, thanks to my good friends over at the Lahey Total Eye Care Center. Visit them today at LaheySight.com. Also, you can give them a ring at 800-892-EYES. And for more information on my LASIK surgery, you could switch on over to the video portion of the website located right here at ESPN1420.com. Of course, as we do every week, going to discuss Louisiana's Raging Cajuns, the Sun Belt Conference, the LSU Fighting Tigers, the Southeastern Conference, and the New Orleans Saints. Big win for the Cajuns last Saturday evening in Bowling Green, Kentucky, as the Cajuns knock off the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers 30-22 to remain perfect in Sun Belt Conference play. Cajuns had 230 rushing yards in the game, 204 passing yards, so over 200, make it 430 yards of total offense for the Cajuns. Now, some bad news for Louisiana as they lost running back Andre Sales in the game. He's going to be out at least a few weeks with a broken bone. Sales was off to a good start in the game against the Western Kentucky team that really doesn't defend the run well. Had 58 carries, or should I say 58 yards on 13 carries. But what about the redshirt freshman, Yobus Walker, who came in, had 94 yards on 24 carries, and nice game for quarterback Chris Mason for the Cajuns as well. 16 of 25 for 204 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Western Kentucky grabbed a quick 7-0 lead, but the difference in the game was the Cajuns coming back after that first Hilltopper touchdown and scoring 20 unanswered points to take a 20-7 lead, and then they really coasted from there, although WKU really kept it close right until the end. The Cajuns win it, though, by the final score of 30-22, so the Cajuns again now 4-2 overall in the year, 2-0 in Sun Belt Conference play, and they return to action this coming Saturday. It's Homecoming 2009 at Cajun Field as the Cajuns play host to the FAU Owls. Kickoff time and that one is set for 4 o'clock. You can hear the broadcast here on Sports Radio ESPN 1420 and ESPN1420.com, beginning with the pregame show at 3:30. Meanwhile, scores from around the Sun Belt Conference from last week. The only other conference game, actually 2 others besides the Cajuns of Western Kentucky on Saturday, you had FAU defeat North Texas. Second really close loss for the North Texas Mean Green as FAU wins that one 44-40. And also in Miami, Florida, it was Troy defeating FIU 42-33. There was a game last Tuesday. It was held in Monroe, Louisiana, as ULM defeats Arkansas State by the final score of 16-10. So taking a look at your Sun Belt Conference standings right now, the ULM Warhawks sit atop the Sun Belt Conference standings with that 3-0 conference mark. Also, Troy's 3-0. You got the Cajuns at 2-0. Middle Tennessee and FAU both at 1-1. FIU is 1-2. Arkansas State, Western Kentucky 0-2, and North Texas is 0-3. Overall, you got Troy, ULM, and Louisiana all at 4-2, and Middle Tennessee 3-3. Everybody else in the conference is under 500. Of course, the LSU Fighting Tigers had the week off last week. LSU returns to action this coming Saturday as they play host to the Auburn Tigers at Tigers Stadium in Baton Rouge. That will be a 6:30 kickoff time in that one. Taking a look at the SEC scoreboard from this past weekend, Georgia defeats Vanderbilt by the final score of 34-10. Other action had Mississippi State defeating Middle Tennessee, a Sun Belt Conference member, in a non-conference matchup, 27-6. Top-ranked Florida had a scare against unranked Arkansas, but the Gators prevail 23-20. In non-conference action, it was Ole Miss defeating UAB by the final score of 48-13. Auburn beat for the second consecutive week. The Kentucky Wildcats pulled the upset as Kentucky wins that one 21-14. And in Tuscaloosa, Alabama on Saturday night, it was the second-ranked Alabama Crimson Tide, who's now ranked number 1 in the latest AP Top 25 college football poll. They defeat South Carolina by the final score of 20-6. So your updated SEC standings as we go into this week. In the Western Division, Alabama leads the way at 4-0. LSU is 3-1. Auburn is 2-2. Ole Miss, Mississippi State, both 1-2, and Arkansas is 1-3. In the Southeastern Conference's Eastern Division, Florida is 4-0. Georgia is 3-2. South Carolina is 2-2. Tennessee is 1-2, Kentucky is 1-3, and Vanderbilt is winless in SEC play with an 0-4 conference mark. Overall in the Eastern Division, Florida is 6-0. In the West, Alabama is 7-0 overall, and LSU is 5-1. Also, we go to the NFL. The New Orleans Saints, an impressive victory over the New York Giants Sunday afternoon at the Louisiana Superdome to stay undefeated on the year. The Saints defeat the Giants 48-27. The Saints now 5-0. The Giants slipped to 5-1. The Saints had that high-octane offense moving in the first half, and then they really never looked back. 493 total yards for the Saints offensively. The Giants could only muster 325. Some individual leaders for the Saints. Through the air, Drew Brees, 23 of 30 for 369 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions in the contest. On the ground, Pierre Thomas, 72 yards on 15 carries. Also, Mike Bell, 34 yards on 15 carries, including a touchdown. And in the receiving department, Marcus Colston, 8 catches for 166 yards and a touchdown. The Saints had 7 different players score touchdowns for him in that game. The Saints back in action this coming Sunday as they travel to Miami to take on the Miami Dolphins on the road, and that will be a 3:15 kickoff time. So the Saints off to that great 5-0 start, and of course they're in first place in the NFC's Southern Division. Also, the Acadiana High Wrecking Rams came up a little bit on the short end of the stick last Friday evening as they fell to the Barb Buccaneers in Lake Charles 31-27. Acadiana back in action this coming Friday evening as they play host to the Sulphur Golden Tours at Wrecking Rams Stadium. You can hear the broadcast beginning with the pregame show at 6:25. Kickoff time set for 7 o'clock. Also a reminder, you can hear the Ricky Bustle Show live from Baja Sports Grill on Bertrand across from Cajun Field, 7 until 8 o'clock every Monday evening, right here on Sports Radio ESPN 1420 and ESPN1420.com. That's a look at our sports update for this week, taking a look at the Cajuns, the Tigers, and the Saints. We'll be back next week. I hope you join us then. And once again, very special thanks to our friends over at Lahey Total Eye Care. Once again, the best decision I ever made to get LASIK eye surgery. You can do the same. Give them a ring, 1-800-892-EYES, or visit them online at laheysite.com. We'll join you again next week right here on Sports Radio ESPN 1420 and ESPN1420.com.